Okay, this is a song by Neil Young, Heart of Gold, and there are really only three different riffs or three different chord progressions that occur in the song. And I'm going to show you all three, 1, 2, 3, and then over here I put the order and how many times you do it each time, because it's pretty, you know, the riffs are easy, but it's kind of complicated how many times you do each riff and when to do them. So I'm going to show you the three riffs or three chord progressions, and then we'll look at how to do it during the song. But the first one goes like this. Now, I just played this first box here, and the guitar here is doing a B and a D and an E, but I think if you're playing it on keyboard or piano, it sounds better to make this top note a G. Just for some reason, because different instruments, you know, sound differently on different chords and things. So I like to play a G on the top, even though that's not what the guitar is doing. The guitar is playing B, D, and E, and it would sound like this. But for piano, I like to put a G on the top instead of the E. I just think it sounds better, but I'll leave that up to you. So when we start here with the right hand, we have B, D, and an E if you want to do the way it is, really on the recording, the way the guitar does. I like to have a G on the top instead of the E. But anyway, you would play it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and I have hash marks for the other times that you'd play it. Bup, 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 bup. So it's 6 times total. So I'm going to be playing a G on the top instead of the E, and you know, you can do whatever you want. It amounts to 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to have A and D and F sharp once. And then we're going to have it again. And then we're going to move down a bit to an E and a B and a G together. So the right hand would have bum, 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 bum. If you did it the way the guitar is doing it, actually it's ba, 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 bum. And I'm not knocking doing it the way the guitar has. I just think, you know, on a keyboard, it just feels more comfortable, more instinctive for me to put the G on the top. But so, ba, 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 bum, bum, bum. All right, left hand, we have an E octave, and what we're doing here, we're just kind of combining the, you know, the beat, the feel of the song, the bass guitar and the drums, and just putting an E octave on the bottom here. So here's middle C, here's an E on the thumb, E on the pinky. Now, we can do that 2 times. 1, 2. So we hear that boom, boom at the beginning of the riff. Then I play it again here. And then we're going to move down to a D octave. D on the thumb, D on the pinky. 1, 2 times. And then back to the E octave. And then you can hear ba-da-da-bum-bum. You know, there's no piano part doing that, but you can hear that in the guitar part. Da-da-da-bum-bum. So let's put that in there. A, B, D. A, B, D, and I put a curved line because they kind of go together, ba-ba-bum, and then down to a G. Okay, now let's put hands together slowly. And you can see left hand starts by itself, right hand comes in between, together right there, together, 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 and then just left. Let me play it a couple of times really slow so you can hear the beat. Okay, so I'm going to play it with the E on top this first time. Here we go. Ready, go. Left, left, bum, bum, together. Start over again, I do it again. So let me do that again for you. Here we go, starting at the beginning. Bum, bum. Feel free to, you know, add some little extra chords in there, you know, as you're playing that D. You know, an extra chord there on the GB if you want to, because you want to, you know, have that improvising feel as you play it. But now let me play it with the G on top instead of the E. Here we go. Bum, 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 bum. Okay, and I like to put a little separation right here. You bum, bum, bum. So don't connect this D chord with that E minor chord. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so that's the first riff, and sometimes we'll just do it once, sometimes we'll do it 2 times. And sometimes you'll do it 3 times. So it just depends on where we are in the song. Now, here's the second riff. Let me do that again. Here we go. Now this riff is played when the harmonica comes in, and it's also played when they're singing on the verse. So it's used in both those areas. So let's start with the right hand with a G, B, E all together. And then we're going to have a G, C, E. Go to a C chord there. Then we're going to have A, D, F sharp. Then we're going to have B, D, G. And right at the end I put that in parentheses because you can do that if you want, but I hear, you know, especially with the headphones on, you can hear that ba-bum in the guitar. Ba-bum, you hear. So you can hear that G-E at the end. So that's up to you if you want to put that in there. You don't have to, it's not absolutely necessary. So, and it is in the guitar part. Now, the left hand here we have an E octave down to a C octave, and then you can hear the guitar going ba-da-dum, you know, da-da-dum. The guitar is doing an open D string and then hammering to a 2nd fret for the E, and then, you know, you don't care about that, but da-da-dum, it's a very common guitar device right there. So that's what that is, D, E, G, with the curved line. And you can leave that out as well if you want to. I like to put it in. Especially if you're playing by yourself. So, and then we have a D octave, and then up to a G octave here to finish with. Now, put the basic skeleton of the chords, and you want to try to, you know, improvise and so you see all I'm doing is taking the chords that I have. Sometimes I'm playing an extra thumb note on my right hand, or playing the octave again just to kind of fill it in a little bit. So I'll leave that to you. Anyway, if we put hands together, the simplest way, let me play it the simplest way without any improvising, we have okay, it's really hard for me to not play extra notes there. And if I were to improvise and, you know, put some extra chords in there, extra notes, I'd have fill it out a little bit, and that's something that's very good to work on, trying to improvise on chords and just filling out that rhythm there. But anyway, that's the second riff, or second chord progression. Now let's do the third one. This is the part where he sings Heart of Gold. Then we have okay. And I just did this part right here, the third, what I'm calling the third riff, or third chord progression. We have G and B and E in the right hand. I have a little 4 there because it lasts 4 counts. I was just reminding myself. 2, 3, 4, 1. And this one as well as 4 counts. So we have B and D and G together. Okay, left hand's going to have an E octave, and then up to a G octave. Okay, and what you need to do, that chord, you need to, don't just play it once and count to 4. You know, you need to do something during that 4 count. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm kind of, you know, if you just want to play the right hand 4 times, I'm kind of, you know, with my thumbs adding a little in there too. Same thing on that G chord. And then we have G, C, E together. We're going to do it. So I have it once, and then the hash marks. You actually end up playing it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Left hand's on a C octave, so 1, 2, 3. Actually, you can put the left hand in there as well on those hash marks. Ba, 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 ba. And then we're going to end on a G, B, D with the left hand on a G octave. Low G octave this time. Now here's the rhythm. Bum, 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 bum. So we have. Okay, so that's the third riff. Now I've shown you all three, and I really do believe this is the easiest way to do it, to show you all three and then give you the formula for it up here. Now let me explain what this is. And all it is I have, in the circle is the riff. So this is riff 1 2 times. See that? Riff 1 2 times. So riff 1 2 times. So let's do that. This is the beginning of the song. That's it. You do it 2 times. Now we go to this box. And this is next. This will be later. So we're just doing the top part here. Now you're going to do the second riff 3 times. And I put up here, if you can read that, harmonica, a little abbreviation. But you do the second riff 3 times while the harmonica is playing. So on the second time. And you know, you do it 3 times if you want to try to play harmonica at the same time, you know, give that a try. But so 3 times with the second riff where the harmonica comes in. Then we're going to do the first riff 1 time. So riff 1 time. And then for the verse, I'll put verse there, you're going to do riff 2 3 times. This riff here. Where you start singing. It's 3 times, so let's let that just suffice there. And then we're going to do riff 3 for the what I'm calling the chorus, you know, 2 times. So riff 3. And then we do it again for the second time. But anyway, you know, riff 3 2 times for the chorus part. Then we do riff 2 3 times, and that's our harmonica. I'm just going through this so in case you can't read my writing. Then we're going to do riff 1 time. So do this riff once, then come down here. Then we're going to do, for the second verse, we're going to do riff 2 3 times. So this riff 3 times. And then for what I'm calling the chorus part, we do that's riff 3 2 times. And then we have the harmonica come in, and while the harmonica is playing, we'll do riff 2 3 times. 1 2 3. And then what I put here, I put singing there because that's where they all sing Heart of Gold, where the backup singers come in. Now it's 3 times for riff 1 for that. You know, 3 times total. And then at the very last, we're going to do riff 3 1 time. So we do this. Song's over. So learn the 3 riffs first and then try this formula. Copy it down, and again the numbers in the circles are the riffs. They refer to one of the 3 riffs, and below it I have how many times you do it. And up there, if you can't read this, says harmonica, verse, chorus, harmonica, verse 2, chorus, harmonica, singing with the backup singers, and then we end with riff 3 1 time. So that's the song, and I hope you enjoy it.